What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. And in this video, I'll be taking you through my very own team selection for the upcoming double game week 37. So the penultimate game week of the season is upon us, and the bench boost has been activated, and therefore double game week 37 proves to be quite an interesting one. Now about 85% of the top 10k, top 100k have the bench boost active for this game week, so I'm expecting the average to be absolutely sky high. So I'll show you guys my plans in this video to hopefully beat that average, with potentially taking a -4 hit. Now I'll be running through a quick recap of how game week 36 went, how the overall rank is looking with kind of game week 37 and game week 38 fastly approaching, and the potential for another top 5k finish this season. Then I'll be jumping into all that goodness for double game week 37, the transfer plan, and the final team selection. So if that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So game week 36 was actually a pretty strong game week for our team. If you guys saw my transfer plan, we had a green arrow to about the 6k mark. That's unfortunately dropped to 6.9k. That was of course due to the fact that United still had to take on Crystal Palace, and because Bruno Fernandes was out injured, there was a lot of bench jam this game week. So 900 places were the result of that bench jam. So comment down below if you're one of those managers that got Nicholas Jackson off the bench for the injured Bruno. So in terms of the overall rank change, I think we went from about 9k to the 7k mark. So a very nice healthy green arrow. So with 2 game weeks to go and the bench boost, going from 7k to 5k will be the target. But I'll just be happy with the top 10k finish, as that was the goal at the start of the season. So we ended game week 36 with 111 points. And comment down below how many points you guys got and how's that overall rank looking. Now let's go over a quick recap, starting off on the bench, and here you guys will see my United options, Onana and Garnacho. So both these two options featured against Crystal Palace, but as you guys know, United lost 4-0. Onana got a few save points and Garnacho did nothing. So some worrying signs for potentially Garnacho for double game week 37. I was scouting him, hoping for some good returns here, as that would make me more confident in keeping him for the bench boost. Now that question is all up in the air with Bruno out injured even. Will he be back for the double game week? Because if he's not, I think Garnacho might be out of the team. I will talk about my transfer plans though as we do go along, but I guess at least these options didn't get too many points on my bench. Then Pedro Porro and Faneka both got 0 points. Pedro Porro did start this game but conceded 4 to Liverpool, and he can't get save points like Onana. Then Faneka out injured, he was confirmed out for game week 36. I was hoping for some more news to see if he's out for double game week 37. Now with Onana on the bench, you had Petrovic between the sticks. I'm quite happy that I started the Chelsea goalkeeper over the United one, as he racked up a clean sheet and 6 points. Very kind of differential points there, not a wild card as went for Edison, so it was nice to see that Petrovic did outperform him. And that continued into our defensive department when Guardiola also got an assist. He also racked up a bonus point, so no clean sheets for Guardiola, but actually some bonus points and some assist points. And he matched Ben White for the clean sheet. Now this was a kind of 50-50 between Gabriel and Ben White. I opted for the more attacking threat of the fullback, but Gabriel actually got 7 points because of a bonus point this game week. So fingers crossed Ben White can do well in the future game weeks and repays for the faith of the transfer. Then finally the only player that didn't perform in our starting 11, the only player that ended up blanking, was Dan Burn from Newcastle. So Newcastle won this game I think 4-1 but conceded in the 80th minute to Burnley, which you never like to see. So unfortunately no clean sheet points here, would have been quite happy with those defensive returns. With Fabian Shaw out injured, Dan Burn was a nice little differential. But I guess it wasn't meant to be. I just wish he got the clean sheet, it would have been a full house of 6 pointers. I'll just have to settle with 3. Then moving on to midfield department, Heung-min Son got a goal quite late into the Liverpool game. Thanks to the resurgence of Richarlison and Maddison coming off the bench, Spurs looked a lot better compared to the first half. Then Cole Palmer also got a goal and a clean sheet point for his 8-pointer, but when you did see that Chelsea won 5-0, you would have expected some more points. I wasn't too mad though, his effective ownership is so high that there's basically no net gains, but he did take us over the 100-point club. Then with Gordon got an assist as well as a clean sheet point, Newcastle lost their clean sheet after he was subbed off, so that's why he's got 1 more point than Phil Foden. Foden also an assist, but in a high scoring affair, you guys know Erling Haaland scored 4 goals. City went on and won 5-0, but Foden only got 1 assist. Most of our midfield was literally high scoring games, but only 1 attacking return. Palmer, Gordon and Foden, all kind of high scoring affairs, would have probably expected more out of all of them. At least in our forward department, the returns were flowing. As mentioned, Erling Haaland scored 4 goals and therefore 42 points as our captain. an almost record-breaking game week. The Nicholas Jackson points were slightly sweeter though, with his lower effective ownership, so 16 points is absolutely massive from him. Then finally Isaac missed a penalty, and therefore I'm worried that Callum Wilson will take over penalty duties, so he ended up on 7 points. But overall, a very strong game week. All of our differentials ended up performing, and therefore 111 points was pretty decent, and as mentioned, just below the 7k mark. How did your game week go? Was it a strong week? Was it a bad week? What's the current overall rank, and what's the end of season kind of projection? Really like to see if you guys achieve your goals. Let's just hope things can continue on the green arrow way of things, and therefore we can push that top 5k, as that'll be a really great season. But now let's go on to the team selection for Game Week 37. I want to show you guys the context before I talk about the transfer plan, because there are a few combinations that I could potentially do. Now I only have 1 free transfer and 5.5 in the bank though, so quite a big upgrade can be made if you want to go there. Now you guys will notice at the bottom of the screen, the bench is looking slightly different, and that's because the bench boost has been activated, so fingers crossed we get a massive score again. So currently on my bench, I've got Onana, Garnacho, Ben White, and Faneka. Not the worst bench boost in the world. However, when you guys do take a closer look, Faneka might be out for the season, he's a definite replacement then, and Garnacho and Onana's form hasn't been too great. So if I do choose to make a transfer, it will be for my bench. It could be a -4, it could be a -8, but you don't really want to take too many hits at this stage of the season. As mentioned though, I think Garnacho and Faneka are probably the biggest kind of concerns. I'm fine playing Onana, I just hope that he gets some save points, and you guys know how strong that defense has been for Arsenal with Ben White. Also added to that, the fact that United aren't great at the moment is even more chance to celebrate, so let's hope that Ben White gets some returns. Now let's go over our starting 11 though. In combination with the bench boost, we'll be putting out a full starting 15, but I feel like Petrovic is my strongest goalkeeper. So you guys will notice my bench is probably the weakest selection. There might be those of you out there that are putting a Haaland, for example, on your bench. Just remember that you can't captain a bench player. So for me, Petrovic and Chelsea have the better chance for clean sheets versus Onana and United. Nottingham Forest and Brighton, even though they are away, there might be one clean sheet there. Chelsea also look to be slightly better at the moment. It seems like the formation has got a lot more secure, so fingers crossed we get some defensive returns. Then Pedro Porro, one of our strongest defenders at the moment, mainly because of that Burnley at home game. I'm not expecting too much against Man City. So you guys know I love a fullback, attacking threat and defensive threat, and that pretty much sums Pedro Porro up. Now I will say though, if they don't get a clean sheet against Burnley, this might be quite a low scoring game week. So let's see how Spurs bounce back after that Liverpool loss. Then Dan Burn from Newcastle, we might see Kieran Trippier return to the squad for double game week 37, but I'll be going for the ever reliable Dan Burn. Now against Brighton United, there might not be too many clean sheets there. I'm just hoping that the home game against Brighton goes quite well, and I guess Dan Burn also offers some attacking threat off those set pieces. I do have faith though in Guardiola, one of the most informed players at the moment for Man City and in the Prem, and he is kind of playing out of position as an almost left winger. Now against Fulham and Spurs, I think there might be one clean sheet, potentially two, as that Spurs side isn't in great form at the moment. Man City also challenging for the title, every game is a must win, and I think Guardiola's undroppable at the moment. Now midfield department continues. We're going to start off once again with Spurs assets, and even though Son might be pushed to the left wing slot with Richarlison up front, I still think he has some attacking threat. Once again though, you are definitely targeting that Burnley at home game, as against Man City I can't see too many points. Then Cole Palmer, our second Chelsea option. I mean, his ownership is so high, as mentioned, everyone kind of owns him at the moment, so the gains aren't really going to be there. Still a perfectly viable option though, but definitely one chance to go differential if you guys want to go there. Madueke could be a nice option. Now Gordon hopefully takes advantage of that home game, as you guys will know Newcastle and Gordon aren't that great away from home, so fingers crossed the first game goes well. Now we have had some reports about potentially Callum Wilson being injured once again, so that does make Gordon more of a talisman. Then finally for Foden, Man City have the highest chance of scoring the most goals in double game week 37, so Phil Foden's going nowhere at the moment. Ownership is also slightly more increased than some of the other options, but there are still points to be gained. Speaking about Man City and the chance of scoring the most goals, Erling Haaland will definitely be our captain for game week 37. I don't really think there's many other options to actually go for in terms of the differential armband. So for me, with the top 10k rank, I'm perfectly fine going for Erling Haaland. I probably expect him to be the highest scorer with these two games. I think Man City score a few goals against both sides. So Erling Haaland, effective ownership will be quite high, with people triple captaining him as well. So let's see where it lands. The Nicholas Jackson been performing well over the prior game weeks. Let's see what he can do in game week 37. Definitely happy I did the hit for Gusto out a few weeks ago. Chelsea also finding form at the end of the season, nothing much to play for though, so let's hope that form does continue. And then Nicholas Jackson continues on the scoring way of things. Then finally, probably the only differential captain I might look at is going to be Isaac. If Callum Wilson is confirmed out, it makes Isaac an even better option. As with that penalty miss, I think that Callum Wilson might be on pens if he's on the field. So let's see how Isaac and Newcastle do. I have faith in him though, and that's why I might put the differential armband on him. If Callum Wilson is out, I think he'll give Haaland a run for his money. But this front three is definitely the front three that you probably would go for on the free hit, and I think the same with the midfield department. So whenever your team does look like a free hit, it's going to be a strong game week. I just have to sort out this bench if there are any injuries. So comment down below, if you guys had one transfer, you guys could also do a -4 or -8 though, what moves would you make if this was your team? But now let's move on to the transfer plan for the upcoming double game week 37. With the bench boost active, I'm looking to get a more secure, more high scoring bench. But the transfer plan this week actually relies on a player I might not be taking out. So the player I want to talk about is going to be Garnacho, and he's kind of the key to the transfer plan, to be honest. Because if I do choose to take him out, I want to go for Richarlison. I just believe Richarlison is the best option if you guys want to go differential in the midfield department, as that Burnley at home game has massive upside. An added bonus is Sheffield United away in game week 38. If I do want to play him there, that's a strong game week. The only question is this worth a -4 hit? Now, as mentioned, Bruno might be out for double game week 37. If he is out, it actually makes me want to take Garnacho out even more, as that attack simply looks very lackluster. Now, even if Bruno's back in the squad, I still might do this move. I just feel like the upside might be there even with the hit. Now, the obvious reason I'm saying that this might be the key is the fact that I already own 2 Spurs assets, so if I do go for Richarlison, I've completed the triple up. So once again, comment down below if you guys do think this move is worth the hit. I think it might be quite close. Now, the other player that I definitely will be taking out if he is confirmed out is Van Hecke. At the moment with the rumors, he might be out for the entire season, but I'm going to wait to see what De Zerbi says in the press conference, probably coming up on Friday. So if I do choose to go for the Garnacho to Richarlison hit, I will be taking Van Hecke to a non-Spurs asset, and at the moment Gabriel's got my eye. Now yes, he has United in game week 37, a double game week. Why am I going for a single game week option? Well, unfortunately the defenders this week are quite scarce. I also believe that Arsenal's defense is quite rock solid, United's attacking form isn't strong, so there's a big chance of an Arsenal clean sheet this game week. Gabriel also offers some attack threat going forward off those set pieces, and his ownership is quite high within the top 10k. Also next week, I can play him against Everton at home in game week 38, and Arsenal also challenging for the title, which will probably come down to the last day. So once again, the Richarlison move will therefore mean I go for Gabriel, or I go for someone like a Tarkowski. Now the one thing about the Tarkowski move is in game week 38, I don't necessarily need to have a defender that plays, so I could always bench Tarkowski in game week 38. Now between him and Branthwaite, it is quite close, but Tarkowski offers slightly more attacking threat in terms of XG. So this debate comes down to, do I believe that Tarkowski and Everton have a high chance of a clean sheet than Arsenal against United? Because if I believe that, I could always go for the Everton centre back. Once again, a single game week player, but he might actually outperform some double game week defenders, and therefore he's quite high up on my list. So between Gabriel and also Tarkowski / Branthwaite, I can go for either of them if I do go for Richarlison, and this decision might come down to the wire. So once again, this will be for a -4 hit, but if I do choose to keep Garnacho, maybe Bruno's back and I decide that Garnacho is worth the risk, I could actually negate the -4 hit and only take 1 free transfer. That transfer will therefore be for Romero from Spurs. I believe that Burnley at home game is worth it in double game week 37, and this would then complete my Spurs triple up. So that's why Garnacho is kind of the key, because if I do go for Garnacho to Richarlison, I can't go for Romero, but if I don't go for that move, I can always go for a Spurs defender to complete my triple up. I do think Romero has a slightly higher ceiling than someone like a Gabriel or a Tarkowski, but that all depends if he gets negative points against Man City. Also, the added bonus, like a Gabriel in game week 38 at Sheffield United away, so while I might actually just bench him anyways next week, I could always play him if there's a defensive injury. If I have to give you guys my prediction of my moves that I will be making, I do think I'm leaning slightly towards the -4 for Richarlison, and then going for Gabriel for some top 10k coverage. But you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Maybe you recommend a move I haven't seen, but if you guys have your own transfer plan dilemmas, reach out to me on YouTube or my Discord server where I'm slightly more active. It's a second link in the description. Hopefully I can help you guys achieve your end of season goals, and let's hope double game week 37 is an absolute banger. Now I'll be seeing you guys for a deadline stream coming up 1 hour before the deadline on Saturday, so make sure you guys have the notifications on, so that you do get notified when I do go live. But this is basically going to wrap up the video, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you have subscribed yet. Follow me over on Twitter for more updates. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL and I'm out. Cheers, bye.